Hello everyone and welcome back. We're here with Bailey, who is our she's been with us for about 3 weeks now, or maybe 2 weeks. I don't remember when this video was recorded, but basically this is going to be a public training session, just a good socialization for her. She's very fear reactive and insecure, and this is honestly her first time being in public in about a year and a half. Not too exactly sure, but just because of how reactive she was and her owners weren't comfortable, and to be honest, we weren't even comfortable taking her out until we set up a good foundation. So just know that this isn't like as soon as we started training, we set up a good foundation, good socialization in our pack with our dogs, some other training dogs, some walks in our neighborhood, and now we're moved up a level, if you would say, to going into a store, being out in public. Now, something I want you to notice, it did take us a while to actually get inside the store. Annie had to do quite a bit of leash drills with her, just because as soon as she got out of the car, she started her crying, her whining, her heavy panting, which is a clear sign of her being anxious and stressed out or overwhelmed or whatever you want to call it. Because there's just a bunch of different smells, a bunch of different sights for her to see that are very uncommon to her, and she just doesn't know what to do with that information, how to process it correctly. So in order to regain her focus back on Annie's just doing a bunch of leash drills in the parking lot until Annie feels that Bailey is completely in tune with her. So here, for example, Bailey is not in tune with Annie, because when Annie stopped, Bailey kept going. But right here, if you notice, as soon as Annie stopped, Bailey stopped. And then Annie's gonna do it one more time right here, and Bailey's gonna keep going. So therefore, we're not gonna go in the store yet. We're not gonna move on until we know you are with us at this certain point. Because if you weren't, we shouldn't expect Bailey to be with us when we go in the store, because she's not with us outside of the store. Which is why we focus heavily on doing leash drills outside of the store or outside of wherever you may be going in beforehand, just so you can set a good tone for how this is gonna start. So as you can see now, we finally made it into the store, and we're just taking things slowly now. Something you're going to notice about this video is it's going to be very boring, but there is huge progress for Bailey in this video. Like right here, when we first got her, and from what the owners told us just about having her for the period of time that they've had her, that was never possible. Her passing by people that she doesn't know, dogs that she doesn't know, she would just automatically start barking, growling, and if they get close enough, it will turn into a bite. And the reason why we picked this Tractor Supply is if you notice, there's not a lot of things and a lot of people, a lot of moving parts going on in this store. And that's really what we want. We don't want to just throw her into the deep end and just let her see a whole bunch of people, get in a group of dogs, and then just expect her to just know what to do. No, we're going to take baby steps with her. And then over time, we're going to gradually bump it up a level. But in this video, she's able to see a couple people up close and then observe people from a distance. And that's so good for her, because her threshold when we first got her was 0. She was not able to see people or dogs without having a reaction. And now look at her. She's able to watch a person walk by, nothing. This is so great. Again, people passing by. So like I was saying, this video is nothing too crazy. It's a huge stepping stone for Bailey, because like I said, she's able to finally be out in public in a very long time and just understand that there's nothing you need to handle. There's no threats. She's just in a very calm state of mind, and that's ultimately what we want, and that's what her owners want. Just for her to be able to go out in public and just not be scared of the world. Once again, I'm going to reiterate that this is going to be a very boring video for most people that are watching, because she's not having any reactions, she's not growling, she's not barking or lunging. We're not doing anything to provoke it so we can correct it, just so we can get views, a bunch of people to see her have this huge reaction. That's not what we're doing. We're setting her up for success and giving her all the tools that she needs, instead of just throwing her in the deep end and correcting all of her behaviors.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
She's like that, yeah.
Huh? Where is it? Where's the other dog?
I felt like we should have added that in, just her seeing her own reflection. She was very thrown off by it. I didn't get a clip of it when she first saw it, because one, I just wasn't expecting it, and I should have, because she actually growled at her own reflection. So we just kind of thought that was quite interesting. But here all we're doing is just some more leash drills. There were some kids on one of the sides of these other aisles that were in between. And she saw them and they were running around, making a loud noise, doing what kids do, and she started getting worked up. So something that we did was pull her off to the side where she's able to see and hear them, but from a distance, and then do some leash drills to regain her attention to us. Now, something we didn't do was just as soon as she saw the kids, just do the leash drills right in front of the kids at a close proximity, mostly because she's obviously going to correct. And like I said before, we're trying to set her up for success and not just correct her behaviors over and over again. So we're going to create a big enough threshold and then move her closer. And I don't know if people are going to agree with that, but like I said, this is what works for us, and this is what works for Bailey. Once again, this is what works for Bailey's owners, and that's what matters the most. You're going to hear us all the time reiterate that over and over and over again, because at the end of the day, like we always say, that's what matters, what works for your dog and you. There seems to be a little bit more people coming into the store now, and the kids are still just, doing what they do. And if you notice her, she's more perked up, her ears are up, her eyes are kind of darting in different directions. So all we're doing is just trying to regain her focus once again, just so she can understand that everything that's going on you don't need to worry about. You just need to focus on Annie. So here I'm pretty sure we are leaving the store, and something I want to point out is if you notice, Annie is still making sure that Bailey is in tune with her. Just because we're leaving the store doesn't mean you can just kind of stray off, you can do what you want. No. Training is 24/7, all day, every day. Your dog is always learning. It's just, is it learning the things that you want it to learn, or is it learning the things you don't want it to learn? That's something I want you guys to remember. Something else I want to point out here is that she passes by this man coming and she gives no reaction. I think she looks at him, kind of interested. But look at that, she doesn't even care. She's more just focused on what's going on out there. And then we stop here, mostly for a safety precaution, and yeah, and that's really the end of the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more videos of Bailey.